Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the ToKini and Genki 1 Lesson 4 question and answer live stream. It's good to see you guys here. Sorry, it's starting a little late. I don't know if it is starting a little late, actually. I'm having some technical difficulties today with the new monitor I just set up. I think my computer's overheating pretty heavily because they're different refresh rates or whatever. I don't know. It's not important. Anyway, today we're doing the question and answer on Lesson 4 of Genki 1. So, of course, you're welcome to ask questions on anything else, whether it has to do with Genki, Japanese in general, a different lesson, or if you just have questions about whatever else. That's all fine. So, in chat, I see today we have Sophia's Animation Studio, konbanwa, and Come to Japan Dan, my trusty mod. Check out his channel after this. Carpe Diem just showed up, and Hikari-chan, and I'm a Crow, and Meng Fukkyong, and Staririsu. Staririsu. Is that a starry chipmunk? Anyway, good to see you guys. Hello, says Carpe Diem. You seem like you're going to sleep, Hikari-chan. You're going to fall asleep? Ohayo, Meng. Hey, Carpe. Minasan, konnichiwa. Hello, Elabella. Thank you for watching. For all of you guys who just watched the premiere of the stream cut. I was having some troubles with that, so I don't know how that went either. But anyway, it's good to see you guys tonight. Hopefully this all works out. I've got a whole new setup here, so I'm kind of confused about what's going on and not sure if everything is okay. But anyway, it's good to see you guys. So, and I'm a Crow. Thank you so much for your generous coffees this morning. That was a huge surprise to wake up to. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the support, all of my patrons here, and just thank you. You've had a haircut, says Elabella. Yes, finally. Oh my goodness, I've been dying to get a haircut. Now that the state of emergency is finally over, I was able to cut off all of this hair. Yes, many, many coffees. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Ohayo, says Fatima. Patrick Ruizendal. I always get your last name wrong. I'm so sorry about that. But minasan konnichiwa. Didn't mean anything bad. No, I know. Oh, I didn't mean ho. Daijoubu da yo. MD Ayat Ulia. Konbanwa. Hello. And Raf. Hello. Good to see y'all here. So, why don't we go ahead and jump into... I'm looking all over the place here. So weird. Jump into the question and answer. Switch back to PC. My phone didn't show the comments once again. Yeah, I'm having weird troubles with YouTube lately too. It's the whole thing over here isn't working very well. But anyway, sorry for my name. It's horrible for foreigners to say. I'm just gonna call you Patrick, okay? That'll make my life easier. I always try to read the last name, but... And Hikari-chan, don't worry. I didn't think you said anything bad. Hair looking slick, Andy, says Adrian. Thank you. Appreciate it. Feels slick. So... Just got the lesson 2 in Genki, but yet I'm still here. That's okay. You can ask questions on lesson 2 too. I'm fine with that. So, let's go ahead. Staririsu has a question. Let's go ahead and start with questions right away, and then I'll sort of go through the slides and see if any questions come up on those particular sections. So, Staririsu, what is your question? I'm happy to answer whatever I can to the best of my ability, and anything that I can't answer, someone in chat or perhaps my trusty girlfriend Yuki can answer for you as well. Ne? She says yes. She'll be here momentarily. Maybe not on stream, but she'll be here. So yeah, feel free to throw any questions in chat. I'll just bring up what we had over here in lesson 4, which was this. We had to have, to exist. We had where things are, past tense of this, the polite past tense, which was kind of the main part of the lesson. More about the mo particle, duration, expressions of quantity in Japanese, and the handy toll particle. Good morning, MB Karuana. Good to see you here, man. Thanks for coming. So, my brother told me that mainichi is outdated and that most folks used... no. That is not true. Mainichi is still used. 日々の方が使ってるの？最近、日本人って。毎日より。日々の方が使う？わかんない。流行ってんの？日々。流行ってるの？知らん。Yuki says she doesn't know. She's never heard that. She asked if it was popular recently. She hasn't heard it. Is your brother Japanese? Is he a young Japanese guy or something? 日々の方がなんか なんて言えばいい ?formal だよね。じゃない丁寧。違う風に使うんだよね。
everyday か。
うん。毎日か日々。
everyday だね。
They mean the same thing. You can definitely use 毎日 still. I still use 毎日 every day. 毎日という言葉を使っています。Ah, no, he has Japanese friends though.
日々の方がmore sounds like book word.
That's what I was thinking. Yuki said, and I kind of agree with this, that 日々 sounds more like a word you would hear in a book or that you would see in a book. It sounds more formal to me.
And
But-
アニメとかもそうかもね。
あ、アニメ
わかんない。
言ってるのが It's possible that people use it more in anime when they're talking. Maybe. But I think in regular everyday conversation, I just got bit by a bug on my foot. I think I got a huge mosquito bite. Look at that. Just got a random huge mosquito bite on my foot, I think. That's so itchy. So random. Welcome to summer in Japan. Anyway, 喫茶店 or コーヒーショップ which frequently used nowadays. I usually say cafe. I'd probably just say cafe. Cafe. Pronunciation would be cafe for like a cafe. Much more popular. Just what Dan said. Yeah, he's ahead of me there. Cafe. Arigato, says Study Risu. Yeah, feel free to use 毎日. 喫茶店, I don't really hear that used too often, but like an old styled, and very old Japanese style. 大丈夫大丈夫. A very old, I'll use this one. Very old styled Japanese like tea shop or something, right? That would be a 喫茶店. コーヒーショップ. あんまり聞かないね. I haven't heard coffee shop too much, but like a place that sells coffee, not coffee drink, but like sells actual coffee grinds and stuff like that. That you might call a コーヒーショップ. Like I buy my coffee at a コーヒーショップ called Maruyama, but I buy like Starbucks would, or like a place that just has places to sit outside is cafe. すぐるくん、こんばんは。一緒に中川村に帰りたかったな。アンディかっこいいって。Thank you. Appreciate it.
そのシャツが。
Suguru is Yuki's brother-in-law, actually. So everyone say hi to SuguDBU. Thanks for stopping by. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into the meat of the lesson. I mean, we've already covered this, but the first thing we covered in lesson 4 was the use of arimasu and imasu, which if you remember, I just put a video out of a very, very short clip about it this morning. Someone had asked if you use arimasu or imasu for plants. And the answer to that was that you use arimasu for plants. Despite them sort of being living things, I'm going to take this off for a second. You use plants. 1 second. Sorry, yes.
さっきのコーヒーショップと喫茶店ですけど、
うん
みんなはカフェって言ってる。
No, 言った。Cafe ね. You dodged the COVID, but get bit by a mutant mossy. Next week you will turn into Banana Man. I'm already Banana Man. My legs are bananas. Anyway. Yeah, so arimasu is used for inanimate objects. It means that they exist, or there is, or to have an item, like kohi ga arimasu. I'm in a cafe and I have coffee. Kohi ga arimasu. And imasu expresses that there is a person, a living thing, or a cat, or a dog, or that, you know, they exist. So, was there any questions on the arimasu and imasu making them, right? Remember that arimasu and imasu is the vimasu, the polite present tense of aru and iru. Those are the original verbs. And the way we use them was just to have a noun plus ga and arimasu, or noun plus ga and imasu. I'm imagining there's not really any questions on that one, but boom nanaman. Love it. So I imagine we didn't have too many questions on that one. Remember, this is a cool little phrase here called zannen nagara. You should use that one. Use it as much as you'd like. It means unfortunately, or I'm sad to say that I didn't get enough work done today or something like that. 残念ながら今日十分仕事してません. I saw a video with you talking about plants and using these. Yes, exactly. That was actually the video today is something new I'm doing. The 30-second clip. I'm taking good questions from videos or ones that I feel had a good flow in the answer, and I'm releasing those as separate videos because a lot of people don't watch the other question and answers, but I think you guys all of you ask really good questions, so I'd like people to get a chance to see those questions and the answers to the questions. So I've been releasing clips of questions from the stream. So that was actually a clip from last week's lesson 4 stream when someone asked the question, do you use aru or iru for plants? All right, I saw friendly FYI Yuki is the banana master. Yes, a little question I was wondering, how does deru and dasu and deguchi differ? Okay, I'll get to that one in 1 second. For particles, I learned that you use ni with arimasu if there's something, but for events, you use de. It depends on the sentence. So, oh, Ima Crow just answered to exit to take out and exit as a noun, I think. That is correct. どうしたんですか? So, let me come back to your question, Patrick, or what you just put there. Let's talk about Meng's question. Deru is to, for example, go out or put out. Deru. Something comes out, for example, like 食べ物が出る. Food is coming out, right? Deru. Dasu is an action verb. It means to put out. Dasu. When I put out a video, I could use dasu. Video o dasu. When you're on the other end of that, you're not me, right? Andy puts out a video and you see, a video from Andy came out. You would use deru, right? Video ga, Andy no video ga deta. So you'd use deru. Dasu is an action. I do the action. Deru is just, it happened. There's transitive and intransitive. I can't remember which is which. Transitive and intransitive are the words I'm looking for here. So that's the difference with those. Deguchi just means, it's a noun that means exit, right? The other two are verbs. So that's the difference there. So that one is completely different from the other two. I need to look up transitive and intransitive quick because I messed those up. Difference between intransitive, there we go, and transitive. 自動詞と他動詞だけどどっちが自動詞が intransitive か transitive かいつも忘れちゃう. A transitive verb is one that only makes sense if it exerts its action on an object. So deru is dasu is transitive, and intransitive will make sense with that one. So dasu is deru is intransitive, dasu must be transitive. I think that's what we're looking at. Okay, so there's the answer to that. I hope that answered your question. Patrick, so テーブルにあります. So if you're using あります with something that is some place, so a location plus あります. So it's on the table, for example, you would say テーブルにあります or テーブルの上にあります. So then you would use the ni particle with あります. You would use で、図書館でparty ga arimasu. You would still use ga. I don't know why there's a party at the library, but if there was a party at the library, you would say 図書館でparty ga arimasu. I guess it's a book reading party. Those are fun if someone's reading out loud to you. But yeah, that's when you'd use de. Otherwise, you're going to use ga almost all the time. Even in that situation, you're using ga with whatever the event is. So it's an event, which is a noun. Ga arimasu. If you're saying that something is on or in a certain location, then you use ni. テーブルにあります. Hope that answered your question. So let's go back. Would you deconstruct 残念ながら? Sure. 残念 means I'm disappointed in something. So basically, let's see if I can get a full definition of just 残念. Oh, I can't get Japanese to switch over to here. Let's see. Japanese. 残念. 残念, I think it just means disappointed or... yeah, okay, it is. It's disappointing or regrettable. And then ながら. ながら means while. So those are two different words. 残念, unfortunately or disappointing. And ながら means while. So while I am disappointed, it doesn't make sense in English, right? But those are the two words. It's really just a set phrase. Zannen nagara means I'm unfortunately. But that's the breakdown of the two words. Nagara is while doing something. So, tabe nagara, while I'm eating. Tabe nagara, terebi o mitte imasu. I'm watching TV. Is how you would use nagara along with I think it's with the mas stem. But this is sort of a different usage. So it's hard to break down that way because it's just a set phrase. But you just memorize it alone like that. Zannen nagara. What's the difference between last week's lesson and this week's lesson? Wasn't lesson 4 completed last week? Someone already answered that question for you, but just in case you didn't see in the chat, this week is the question and answer session based on last week. So last week I taught the lesson. I went through each section and I explained everything. And the week after that, I come back and I give everyone an opportunity for an hour or two to ask me questions based on that lesson. So like, if you've gone through the lesson, especially if you did it after the fact and you've come back, you're like, I get this part, but I'm a little confused about this. This is your chance to ask it. So I don't actually teach anything in particular today. I just bring up the slides like this so that you can, look at them and get a reminder if you forgot something. Right? So let's see. Today is more of a review. Yes. Thank you. Very much clear. Okay, thanks. Lynn is on it. Wombat, Kyushu Trail. How's it going, man? Good to see you. You're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Congrats on that. Guys, if you're not subscribed to Kyushu Trails yet, or come to Japan Den, you should do that as soon as possible because he's about to hit 1,000 subscribers, which is really excited. He climbs mountains all over Kyushu. All right. What is the dewa arimasen version for past? Dewa arimasen deshita. Dewa arimasen deshita. Did I bring that up before? Did I do past tense of arimasu? Not yet, right? So I think we get to that later. I think we get to that a little bit later in the past tense, but it's dewa arimasen deshita. Yeah, you just add deshita. So it's just like arimasen deshita. Dewa arimasen deshita. That is exactly it. Wombat shoutouts. Thanks. 981 now, I think. Well, there's enough people here that if everyone's subscribed, I mean, that depends on if they're subscribed to you already or not. If people are already subscribed to you, it won't help. But I think we have enough people here right now, 24 people, that they could, if they all subscribe to you, you'd hit 1,000. That would be amazing. All right. So our next section is where things are. Now, this one is one that might give people some issues. And basically, it's going over locations of items. So not just koko, soko, and asoko, which is what we went over in lesson 2, but more specific things like x wa y no mai desu. So it's in front of y. X is in front of y is what we covered. I feel like I've been learning Japanese very formally and find it more difficult to form casual sentences. Any tips there? Ooh, not so related to the Q&A though. Yeah, that's exactly what the Q&A is for. It's not just for the lesson. It's the bringing the lesson up just gives us some sort of structure, in case people don't have other questions. But other questions are very welcome. So to answer that question, I think the only tip I can give is that you probably need to practice more using casual sentences. If you can pop out a certain sentence really easily, like I don't know, neko ga imasu. There's a neko. There's a neko. There's a cat over there or whatever. Really easily, then to say the more casual version, of course, would be neko ga iru. So you just need more practice of sort of not dumbing it down, but making it a little bit more casual. If, for example, you were to do a lesson with a teacher or you're doing lessons with a teacher, then maybe it would be best to ask if you could do a lesson where you just speak in casual forms. I used to do that with my teachers all the time. When we were having our introduction or whatever, we'd talk very politely. But then when it was in the lesson time, what I wanted to practice was informal speech because I was talking mostly to people who are my own age or friends. So I would say, I would use dictionary forms and stuff. I wanted to practice that. So it's just a matter of actually getting practice because it is very different speaking casually and formally. What's up?
Just dropping off particles.
Oh, did someone ask a question?
No.
Ah, yeah.
Sentence
Okay, you get a tip too. One thing you can do to make your conversation more casual is you can just drop particles. Just try dropping particles, like dropping ga, dropping wa, and seeing what happens. Dropping watashi, dropping your own name. Like, even if you don't change the conjugation to an informal conjugation, even just not using your name will make you sound much more natural. So if you, instead of saying, watashi wa nani nani o shimashita, you could just say, nani nani o shimashita. So, watashi wa kohi wo nomimashita. Not that. You could just say, kohi nomimashita. Or, kohi wo nomimashita.
コーヒー飲んだ
Or, I mean, obviously, kohi nonda would be the most informal version. But if you can't remember the informal conjugations yet because you're not up to that point,
Yeah.
then just dropping particles or dropping your name at least will make you sound more casual. Hope that helps. My nose gets so stiffy when I start doing these. I feel like I've been... Okay. Is this correct? インドで日本語
に行きます
Nihongo is the language. So I'm... Are you talking about your Japanese class? So would you mean インドで日本語のクラスに行きます? If you're talking about a Japanese class, then you have to add the class. Otherwise, it sounds a little weird. It sounds like you're going to the language, which doesn't really make sense. So it would have to be something like インドで日本語のクラスに行きます. I'll go ahead and throw that into chat. インドで日本語のクラスに行きます. That would be fine. Sorry, already subscribed last week. Is the wa ever dropped when describing relative location in casual speech? Relative. So like this. X wa y no mai desu. You could just drop the X. Like, in casual speech, if the location is understood, like if you can tell by context that it's X we're talking about, or if someone said, X wa doko desu ka? Then you could just say Y no mai desu. You don't need to say X wa. But you can't drop the wa. You can't say X Y no mai desu. That doesn't work because you need that wa to sort of differentiate the two. So even in casual conversation, you would drop the wa if you had both objects, X and Y, in the sentence. If someone was asking about X, then you can drop X wa, but not the wa particle. Oh no, I'm too late, says Nath. You're not too late. We just started not too long ago. Thank you for stopping by, Nath. Good to see you. Can I say X ga B no mai desu, like with X being the subject? You can. X ga B no mai desu.
だってさ、がの前はさ、いつもサブジェクトなんだからサブジェクトでしょ
X は B の前です。X が B の前です。でも大丈夫か。Yeah, I think that's okay. Yuki says it's okay. Seems okay.
ただなんか the specific な感じなんかそれを
Right. Wa makes it more specific.
今時とかでも of course meaning is
Yeah, it's fine. Totally fine. インドで日本
イン
に
ドからじゃない
are you saying インドで日本に行きます? Are you trying to say that you went from India to Japanese? If you're saying from India to Japanese, then what you're going to want to say is インドから日本に行きます. インドから De indicates where an action takes place, like an event or something. So I can understand why that would be a little bit confusing, but Indo de, if you do an action, it means you're doing that action in Indo, in India, right? At that location. Going, it's directional, so it's not being done in India. You're going from India to Japan, so you'd need to say kara. I think that's what you're talking about. What's up? Awesome. Thanks for doing these, says Red Cloud Shaman. Thank you. And thank you for your comment earlier. I wasn't able to respond in time. I had a very busy day. But I hope that I'm glad to hear that the videos were helpful. One other thing that we covered in the last lesson, but we weren't able to go over too much, was Excuse me, this 炭酸水 is really making me burp a lot. I'm so sorry. X は Y と Z の間です。X は Y と Z の間です。So in between, that was a good one. インドから日本まで行きます。David Andorino. I think that's okay, yeah. Oh, I thought it had started 8 hours. I'll watch the live in 2X. See you in the future. See you in the future. No worries. Yeah, no. This one is just the Q&A from now. The premiere, Nath, when you get back to this part in time, that was an hour ago. That started an hour ago. So, Nabil Haj Mohammed. When asking doko and dore, do we always use ga or it depends? Doko usually uses ni, doko ni ikimasu, or doko de yarimasu. So it uses ni and de. So you won't be using ga with doko. Dore will depend on the situation, I think. So, dore ga ii, dore ga hoshii, dore...
がも言えるよね。
多分が、どこが、どこが美味しいとか、どこが美味しいとか。Okay, if you're asking for a location, like which location, どこが美味しい, which location is delicious, then you could use ga. But usually you'd be using ni and de with doko. Dore is going to be ga most of the time, yeah. Looks good, David. Yes. You getting it, pal? You're getting it, pal. Thank you, Chewburger. Appreciate it. 日本人なのにこれ見てるコキイハラ。飯原さん、よろしくお願いします。ありがとう。見てくれてありがとう。面白いかどうかわからないんですけれど、なんか質問とかみんな聞いてる質問とか答えられればとても助かります。Oh, I don't know. Chewburger, greetings from Scotland. Greetings from Scotland. I love Scotland. I miss Scotland. Where in Scotland are you from? Yuki said, "Ai." That's Australia, I think. What's happening, bum chin? John Duffy. Do you like my bum chin? Not much. Hey, bro. I like bum chin. Haircut is looking champion, lad. Cheers, mate. Koki san, 英語の勉強に対していいですよ。ありがとう. So here's the words we learned last week. If we don't have any more questions on this section, we'll jump over to our next one, which was the past tense of this. I think this one is pretty straightforward. It was just this becomes deshita. Jyanai becomes janakatta. And you can put this at the end of janakatta if you would like to make it more polite. Let's see how badly my computer is overheating. Woo! This new monitor makes my computer overheat quite a bit. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep it. It is definitely nice having the extra monitor, but maybe 4K 60 hertz when my laptop is at 144 hertz and 1080p pushes it too hard. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research. Anyway, can you teach me how to speak like you? That's what I'm trying to do here. But it takes a lot of practice on your part too, unfortunately. If I could transfer all of my knowledge to you, I would, but I'm trying, little by little. All right, I think I missed some other stuff. Watching YouTube in Japanese. 28人が視聴中, 28 people viewing. Lesson already coming in handy. Nice. Oh, you got to watch. Oh, you switched YouTube to Japanese. That's cool. Nice. I'm Aussie. We say oi, not ai. Kawaii. Oi. Fair enough. Like as in hi. Oi. I don't remember. What did people say in New Zealand when I lived there? I lived in New Zealand for a year, but I don't remember how I just said cheers. Cheers a lot. Cheers. But how did I say good morning?
Kia ora.
Kia ora. That's not English, but こんばんは, says Yuki. Yeah, Nan's fit lad. Loving the stream. Thanks. Stefan taught me how to say thanks in Scottish English, but I can't remember how to say that. Thanks, lad. All right. Past tense is easy, but I always forget to conjugate when speaking. Fair enough. it can be difficult to remember when speaking, but that's okay. It's not a really big deal if you forget. Over time, you'll remember how to use it. Just, a big thing when you're actually speaking, especially in the beginning, is to make sure that you slow down. Because a lot of people, including myself, like in a public speaking situation, you get a little bit nervous and you tend to rush. So the simplest stuff comes out, the stuff that is sort of ingrained in you already. Anything new you actually have to stop and think about isn't going to come out when you're nervous. So it's important to like take a breath when you're going to start speaking for the first time, especially, and think about what you're going to say, and that'll help you a lot. It's really hard in reality, but people are more patient than you think when you're learning a language, especially if they know you're learning the language and you're not perfect yet. They'll be pretty patient with you, so you don't have to worry about that too much. So just take your time. Yeah, でした jyanai. What? Review. We had to review ではありません, right? I had a little video. では becomes じゃ, ありません becomes ない. You add です for a little bit of added politeness, and you get じゃないです. And to get the past tense of that, we turn it into じゃなかった. じゃなかったです. All right. So that was ですでした. I don't think we really had too many questions on that. So we'll skip to the meat of this lesson, which was the polite past tense. The polite past tense. So I'm not going to go over the review, obviously, but we'll remember that the polite past tense, the positive was ました. So 歌お becomes 歌い, 歌いました, right? So let's see if we had any questions on this part. Just say as a coping mechanism. Yes, that's a very good advice. That'll make you sound supernatural. Stuff like that. Well, anyway, it's Sunday again, gang. We have gotten through another week. LOL, I think it's funny how life works, you know? We are all here in this together, and your trim is looking champion. Love it. Thank you. It is crazy. A whole nother week has passed by. I appreciate all of you guys being here every week. It really makes this so much more fun. If I had to sit here alone talking to myself, it would be much less enjoyable than talking to 31 of you guys here in chat. So thank you. Oi, Elabella, says Yuki. Meat of the lesson. Ano is also very good. 昨日たくさんコーヒーを飲みました。今日俺は超コーヒーを飲んでしまった。どのぐらい飲んだっけ？朝は3杯。午後は2杯ぐらい。5杯ぐらい飲んだかな。5杯。5 cups of coffee. I love Sundays, John. Drinking cans and learning Chinese. This is the life. You have fun with that Chinese. All right. So yeah, for the past tense, we just add ました to the vima stem, and you get things like 待ちました、死にました、話しました、聞きました. Definitely not in that order. But anyway. Can I use both formats? 私は本が3冊あります。私は3冊. So usually the number is going to come after the noun. So the first sentence is generally better, MD. It would be 私は本が3冊。本3冊があります would probably be better. 本が3冊あります. Either one is fine, I guess. If you want to put the number before, you're going to need to use the no particle to make it sound a little better. So 私は3冊の本があります. Does that sound right? 3冊の本があります. But generally the number is going to come after. 私は3冊本があります is okay. 両方大丈夫。私は本が3冊。People understand the second one. But I think generally numbers are going to come after the noun. 私は3冊本があります。私は本3冊があります。Numbers generally come after more often in grammar. Let's take a look in here. I shouldn't be arguing with the native next to me. That's kind of ridiculous. But number words often come after rather than before the items counted in the sentence, according to Genki. So, リーさんは T シャツを 3枚買いました。ね。でも、ありますはが。So the formal grammar would be 本は3冊があります。Oh yeah, Dan, there you go. That sounds better. That's what I would say too. 本は3冊があります。私は本3冊があります。本が3冊あります。It's also fine, but that one sounds a little weird. 本は3冊があります。If you're using a different verb, it's earlier because easier because you're using the o particle. So like 私は本を3冊投げました. I threw 3 books. That makes a little bit more sense to me. But generally numbers come after, but people will understand anyway. Like Yuki said, both of them sound fine to her. So 私は3冊本があります is fine to her as well. But sounds more natural. Sounds more casual to Yuki. But the proper grammar, I think, is the other one. Yes, Juju Burger, I am doing the same. Yeah, you must be so tight, Chuber. We just say hi to 昨日勉強しました. So 勉強 is a noun technically. It's a be verb kind of, right? So you use it with する. So 勉強する. So you would have to conjugate it as 勉強しました. But close. It was close, Lin. Good job. Thoughts on Gabe? He done a video on you talking trash. Ooh, did I? Is that the guy that does the NoFap channel? I saw that, Chuber. Is it appropriate to use the generic counter つ when you don't know that? Yes. For instance, I would have said 5つ to say 5 cups since I don't know that counter yet. Perfectly fine. If you don't know a counter, and most of the time you won't because there's like 100 of them, and even Japanese people don't know most of them, it's a safe bet is always 1つ2つ3つ4つ, generally speaking. Unless you're talking about people, you're generally always going to say 1人2人3人4人ね. So for people, generally, you're not going to use 1つ2つ. You don't want to objectify them. But for anything else, for any physical like object, yes, 1つ2つ is a safe bet, imakro. I stumbled across this video and I was searching for Andy stuff. It was called ToKini Andy the Truth. There are some pretty bold claims made. ToKini Andy the Truth. Ooh, I didn't see that video. I'd love to see it though. You have to link it in here. What's the counter for classes? I have 6 classes today. What's the counter for classes? I would use 2つ6つクラスなんてさ、what is there a counter for events? 件クラスを6件とか
でも
6個 I think I would use つ
本当はかだと思う
か
科目
むか6だったらむか6か6か5か5か5か Yuki says she's not sure. She's not sure and I wouldn't learn it and I wouldn't use it. But maybe ka? Maybe ka? But don't generally use it, she said. It sounds really weird. Like sounds like a super important university class. How on earth do you remember all the different counters? You don't. And neither do Japanese people. You don't. There's maybe 10 that I use regularly. 2つ ippon, so like for a long, like a bottle or something. Ippon, ippai, so for a drink. Ippai. Ippon, long like a pen or like a bottle. Ippai, like one drink. Ichimai, one piece of paper. Ikko, like one thing. Like this is ikko, one of these things. I think I remembered cows, ito, but I just remember that because it was used in a kindergarten class. But generally, most people don't remember them. And つ、2つ、1つ, those are basic. And people. 1人、2人、3人、5人, stuff like that. Those ones are pretty often. What bad can he said about Andy and why? I think they're joking. I don't think that there's literally a video called that. But if there is, we should all watch it together. That would be fun. Greetings, Crazy Bull 130. I'm the moderator here, so remember to stick to any rules or I have to dish out some severe punishment. Just so you all know, only people with blue names are moderators, so there's that. Hey, Simpy! Simpy! Good morning! Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Might have to put someone in timeout. Suguru! 持っていますが言いたいんだけど 文法のポイントが、あ、すぐるがなんか言ったんだ。あ、持っていますはどう？like I have. You could use 持つ I have or from holding to talk about books, by the way. 本も3冊があります。3冊が持っています would also be fine. But we haven't gotten there yet. すぐるくん、そこまでって言いますとか、までは、この元気なレッスンで、まだまだやってないので、ね、食べましたとか持ちましたとかは言えるんですけど、持っていますはまだ言えない。持つでもまだやってないかもしれないね。持つっていう動詞が使ったっけ？ I don't know. Anyway, クラスは6つがあります。Yeah, two would be the best, I think, for classes. Wow, there's a lot going on in chat right now. Love it. アンディさんは優しいですね。ありがとうございます。はい、九州伝。Thanks, guys. Ka. Is it this one for classes? Yeah, that's the one, Kyushu Trail. That is the correct ka.
Yeah, I said ka.
Gotcha. Oh, you said it already. Okay.
じゃないか1、
はい。Alright, we're all good. Come to Japan. God loves a trier. This doesn't seem appropriate. Yeah. Pretty much that'll help you out with that. So it looks like we're okay on... by the way, Dan, feel free to use that timeout, the mod timeout, liberally if you'd like to. One thing I'll just mention is please remember that there are exceptions to the ichidan rule, which is these 10 exceptions. Hairu, hashiru, iru, kairu, kagiru, kiru, shaberu, shiru, keru, and suberu. 多分この人たちが話してることちょっとスパムしてるかなこいつら本当に日本語には興味なさそうって感じしますこの2人ねだからちょっとうるさくなったらいいよってはい So those are the exceptions for these. I always forget the exceptions. Need to play flashcards or something. Yeah, I highly recommend throwing them in some kind of Anki deck or something. Just the 10 exceptions are probably pretty useful. I always forget the exceptions. Yeah, because otherwise you'll never remember them. You just have to remember that they are exceptions. Like practice conjugating them separately maybe might help. All right, so our next... Oh, these are the negatives. Oh, this is what we were talking about earlier. Masen deshita is the negative past tense conjugation. Masen deshita, right? So if there's no questions on that, we'll go on to the next section. Same exceptions exist for the negative. Same irregular verbs. We got to more about mo. Oh, now that you say it, chotto is used a lot, right? Does it mean something else other than a little? You're still here, John Duffy. Friendly warning, please keep comments about the lesson. Well, they don't have to be about the lesson, but generally they shouldn't be too off topic. For example, saying that I'm the moderator is probably meh. But anyway, chotto... yes, it can mean something a little bit different. It mostly means a little. So like, chotto matte, wait a little bit, or... But the thing you're thinking of right now is chotto. And just using chotto alone like that, when someone invites you to do something or when someone is asking if you want to do something, it sort of just expresses your hesitation. There's no real good translation of that into English. It just expresses hesitation. Like, that's the only way I could translate it. Expresses hesitation. Kind of like something like that sound, maybe. But generally speaking, it means a little. Oh, timed out. Is to do or to play used for sports? I saw Anki use to do it first, but maybe it's because they didn't introduce to play at the moment. By to play, do you mean asobu? Generally speaking, for things like... Oh, I gotta change my battery. For things like... I'm gonna keep talking. My camera is gonna go off for a second. But for sports like tennis or football, they're gonna be used with suru. They're going to be suru. Suru means to do a sport. You don't generally say to play a sport with the verb asobu. Asobu means to actually just play. Like the action of playing, not a sport. So asobu is just for that. And it also means like hanging out or just having fun somewhere. Like 来週末東京で遊びます. Like I'm gonna go hang out in Tokyo, or I'm gonna go have fun in Tokyo. That's what another usage of asobu, which is to play. But for sports, we don't use the verb play. It's always gonna be suru. So サッカーをします or やる. Suru or やる, which are pretty much the same when it comes to that kind of stuff. Yaru is a little bit more informal, but it's often used with sports. Hello, still at chapter 3. Hopefully I can catch up by next stream. Miggy, thanks for joining. If you have any questions on lesson 3 or any other lesson, feel free to ask them here. I don't mind answering questions that are not only on lesson 4. I don't think many people watch these on the replay, so I don't feel like it's super important to leave them 100% relative to the current lesson. I think it just gives a nice opportunity for people to ask questions on that lesson if they'd like to. So, I've seen ちょっと used as yeah, that can mean that too. ちょっと. It can mean like that. So it depends kind of on intonation and context. ちょっと. Like saying it like that is like quit that sh, you know what that is. Quit that sh. It can be used like that. It can be used in various ways like that. Have you ever been to Okinawa? I have never been to Okinawa. Unfortunately, I would like to go sometimes. 私が来た! Welcome, Nath! You made it! That double speed got you here fast. Good to see you. Welcome back. I love double speed. I edit in double speed mostly now. ちょっとが好きです. Me too. 待ってたぜ, says Yuki. Okay, got to go. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. Abhishek, I hope I said your name right. Catch you guys later. Thanks for today. Sometimes I wish time zones didn't exist. I hear you. Time zones can be really tough. It was really hard for me to pick a time zone to do these streams at. It would be better for me an hour earlier, but like for people in the States, an hour earlier than this would be way too early. ちょっとどうぞ. Yeah, here's a little bit, or you can have a little bit. What about play the piano? Do we use suru? We would use hiku. So for instruments, we generally use the verb hiku. That means to play an instrument. So piano wo hiku. So let's go ahead and type that in chat. Hiku. That means to pull a bowstring back. This one, ne? That one is hiku. That one is to play an instrument, like a guitar or a piano. Hiku. If you were to play drums, you would say tataku. Tataku, that's for drums. Tataku. So each one has sort of like things you hit are tataku. Hiku is things you either play with your fingers or strum. Generally with your fingers is hiku. And yeah, so that would be to play an instrument. Sureba. Sureba is formal or informal. It depends on what comes after it. It is conditional, yeah. So, サッカーをすればいいですか? Would it be good if I played soccer? I can't think of a good sentence off the top of my head, but what comes after that will determine whether or not it's formal or not. Yuki's gonna make a good sentence for us. ちょっと難しいね。いきなりすればの文章を作るのに。It can be really hard to make good sentences. That's why it takes me so long to make these lessons. 運動すれば痩せる。運動すれば痩せる. That's a good one. That means if you exercise, you will lose weight. So I just said it informally. 運動すれば痩せる. 痩せる means to lose weight, and that's the dictionary form, right? So that's an informal sentence. But if I wanted to make it a formal sentence, 運動すれば痩せます. Right? It's an eru verb. So now it's formal. I feel like I'm having a hard time retaining all the information in chapter 3. Should I power through to chapter 4 and hope it sticks over time, or keep reviewing chapter 3? Crazy Bull, I think the best bet is to ask some questions. For example, what from lesson 3 is giving you the most trouble? What are you finding the most difficult? Are you having trouble memorizing all the vocabulary? Are you having trouble understanding the grammar? Is there something I could do to help you understand it a little better? If it's just grammar you're having a hard time maintaining or figuring out, I'm sorry, if it's just vocabulary you're having a hard time remembering, then I would say move on and come back to the vocabulary. If you don't have the grammar down yet, like if you really don't understand it at all, then it's probably a best bet to sort of take your time, practice it a little more, maybe make some practice sentences. You could throw them up in the Discord. We can check them, stuff like that. 僕はギターを弾きます. Nice, Patrick. Good sentence. Perfect. I have learned 話せます. But I saw you had an alternative verb for speak. Is there a big difference? 話す and 喋るね。喋る。喋る is like 日本語を喋れる。なんだろう、場所によるなのかな、話すと喋るって。It's a tough one. They're very similar. I feel like 喋る is more locality. I feel like we say 喋る more in Nagano than we say 話す。Hanasu is more formal. That's I've also always felt like Hanasu is the more formal version of shaberu. Not the version of it, but Hanasu sounds more formal. So in like written text, you're gonna see Hanasu. I also feel like shaberu has more of a connotation of like two people talking to each other like back and forth. But also a lot of people say Nihongo shaberemasu ka? Can you speak Japanese? So I'm not really sure what the division is there. I prefer shaberu. It feels nicer to say. Hanasu feels too rigid to me. It feels more formal. なんだ?
話すは to talk と to chat は何が違う？
そんなに違わない。
ってことは同じね。チャットは喋る。
I see. Yuki says that you could think of the difference between. I'm not sure if I agree completely. If the English is, I guess it sort of is like this. This could work. So hanasu is more like to talk, and shaberu is more like to chat. So if two people are chatting, you might say shaberu instead of hanasu. The only thing that I would disagree with that on is that you can, like, people ask me all the time if I can speak Japanese by saying Nihongo shaberemasu ka? Can you speak Japanese? And you wouldn't say, like, a translation for that would not be can you chat Japanese? Like, it would be speak. So like it depends on how you're using the verb. If you're using it to say two people are talking, then if you want to say they're talking, you'd say hanasu. If you want to say they're chatting, you'd use shaberu. But they're kind of interchangeable, with shaberu being a little less formal if you're just talking, using the verb in general to say I speak something or something like that. I think that answers the question. そんな感じかな? Hey, I just found your channel today, says Potato Spud. Do you have any recommendation for the next steps after completing Genki 1 and 2? When I studied Japanese, Potato Spud, and thank you for stopping by, there were no good intermediate textbooks out at the time. So I didn't use an intermediate textbook. I used the grammar dictionaries, like the intermediate grammar dictionary, to find grammar I wanted to study. And I just looked up words I wanted on my own, which worked out fine. But there are a lot more intermediate textbooks out there now. So when I finish Genki 2, I plan on actually reviewing a bunch of, like, even just personally, reviewing a bunch of the intermediate textbooks and seeing which ones I want to teach from. But at the moment, just complete honest answer, I don't know. I don't know what's a good intermediate textbook yet. So I'm not sure yet. But hopefully within a couple months, I'll have a better answer to that question. I've heard a lot of people like Tobida, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know, unfortunately, because I didn't use a textbook. I did stuff on my own. I just did speaking practice on iTalki. You could also start studying for like a JLPT test, like just to figure out some higher level grammar. They're not the best marker of level, but because they don't test speaking, but it can still be a good way to get grammar that you won't find in books like Genki. So like studying for N3 or N2 is going to give you extra vocabulary and grammar that you wouldn't find in Genki. But I think there are some good intermediate textbooks out there now. I don't know what they are yet. So I'll get back to you on that one. Did you just mention pulling a bowstring? Yes. Aubergine Archer, I did. Hiku is also to pull back a string. It's just with a different kanji, so let me write that one in chat. That one is to pull back a string, or hiki, hiku, hiku. There it is. That's to pull back a string, or just to pull a string. It also means like if you have two strings like this and you want to pull one, this is also hiku. Ne? But if it's a bow, you could also do hiku. Ne? Huh? 大丈夫？ごめんね。合ってるよね、それ。No name calling, please, in English or Japanese. Ah, I see, I see. Did you just, let's see. 太鼓の達人を叩く。達人ってなんだっけ？
太鼓の達人だよ。
太鼓の達人って何なの？
ゲームだよ。
知らん。ああ、太鼓の達人はそのゲームの名前知らなかった。知らん。Ooh, got it. The verb in the end of the sentence that is the plainest. Yes, exactly. I have a hard time with keeping all the particles straight. Your explanations on the verb straighten that portion out for me. It takes a long time on the particles, man. Even Japanese people have a hard time remembering why certain particles are used. It's sort of just something you get used to. And a lot of times you can just drop them in casual conversation. So it's not a huge issue. Don't worry about them too much. Just, keep trying. The workbook exercises helped a lot with getting them memorized. Okay, especially having to write the kanji. Yeah, the workbook can help with that. I think you get used to particles over time. Yes, that's correct, Elaine. Yurushimashita. You're fine, Carpe. You are a regular. Haha, just don't want to encourage. How can I remember everything that I learned of Japanese? Practice, using it, making sentences with it, listening to and reading more Japanese so that you can see the new stuff you learn in real usage, speaking practice, doing lessons on places like iTalki. Anything like that will help. Thanks, Amikro and Lynn. I'll look at the workbook a little more and maybe I'll try going forward and come back to the chapter if I start getting lost. Yeah. If you're only having trouble with the particles sections of lesson 3, I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would come back to that and move on to some more stuff. Especially if you're fine on the vocab and the other stuff like verbs. I wouldn't waste too much time on the particles. You can come back to those, no problem. Are you going to put any intermediate or advanced stuff on the Patreon someday? I absolutely am, Kyushu Trail. In fact, after Genki 1, I'm going to continue making the same material but for Genki 2, which I should finish by the end of the year. I'll probably finish Genki 2 by the end of the year, and then I'm going right into an intermediate textbook. I haven't decided which one yet. Hopefully I can get some recommendations from people, and I'll pick a few of them up and go through them and just see which one is the best. And then I'll use that. And so yes, I'm going to teach intermediate Japanese probably starting early next year. And that'll all be going on to the Patreon as well. The Patreon will be getting new content for at least another year and a half. There should be somewhere around 60 to 80 videos by the time I finish all of it. And yeah, we're also going to be doing certain special promotions on there, like giving away merchandise and things that special items we're going to make, and Ando-san themed items and stuff. So should be fun. The Patreon, I have a lot of good plans for the Patreon. I think it's going to be cool. So, and thank you to my patrons who are here. Anyone that's in the Patreon already, I super appreciate it. And one more time, I have to thank I'm a Crow. Now that there's lots more people here, just super appreciate that all those coffees you sent me earlier. I'm going to have coffee for ages. All right. Really appreciate the response. Found your channel by complete accident, but you've gained a loyal fan. I appreciate it, Potato. Thank you. And thank you for being here. I'm happy that you found the videos, and I'm really happy that they're helping. That's if they're helping people, that makes it worth it. Taiko no Tatsujin ga suki desu. I've only actually played Taiko no Tatsujin once or twice, actually. I gotta get it for Switch. It was on sale for Switch, but I don't know. Don't you need something for it? 愛にできることはまだあるかい? あるかい? Is that like it's a lyrics. Okay. I was like, that's a really good sentence. I don't Did you just make that up? 愛にできることはまだあるかい? I was like, wow, Nate, you just leveled up hard, and it's super romantic. Yeah. Okay, lyrics. Got it. That makes sense. I see high praise for Tobita as well. I've heard that. I've heard Tobita is good. What is the grammar behind this sentence? I see. 愛にできることはまだあるかい? Okay, so let's go backwards. So kai, you need a question mark there. Kai is a super informal way of asking a question that generally has only yes or no answer. It only has a yes or no answer. If you say something something kai, the answer to that question will be yes or no. If you want to ask a more general question that maybe is more open-ended, you can use dai in place of kai. So, 愛にできることはいくつあるんだい? Might work, right? How many do you have or something? Then you would use dai. Yeah, but I just made a different sentence. 愛にできることはいくつあるんだい? Then you couldn't use kai then. You would have to use dai. So dai is for various endings. Kai is just a yes or no answer that it's expecting. The koto there, mada aru means do you still have? Aru is have. Mada means still. So it's pretty straight translation. Mada aru kai means do you still have? And you need a yes or no answer to that. So koto nominalizes, it turns into a noun, the sentence before it. And the sentence before that is ai ni dekiru. And that means can love. Dekiru means can do. And ai is the noun for love. So basically this whole sentence means, do you still have something that you can love? Is what the whole translation is. So the first one is ai ni dekiru means can love. And then koto nominalizes that. It turns it into a noun. So a thing you can love. Koto can also be translated as thing. So it's thing you can love. Do you still have a thing you can love? Right? Hope that answers your question. Have you explored Tai Kim's grammar guide? Yes. I've done a review actually on Tai Kim's grammar guide here on this channel. And I like it I used to love it. It's free. So like how can you argue with that? It's free. I had the app. I still have the app. I found the app really good. And I loved it. Since I've started teaching Japanese, I'm on the fence. I still think a lot of the material in there is great. But I also think that he generalizes things a little bit too much sometimes. And takes things that use the same word but are actually completely different grammar and in the end are actually different words and claims that they're the same. And he also uses the ru and u verb formation, Tai Kim. So I don't like that. But generally speaking, his explanations are really good and I really like his example sentences. So I like it. I still think it's really good. I still think it's a good idea to question some of what he says because you have to remember that Tai Kim, I don't think he's native Japanese speaker. So he still makes some mistakes. So there's that. But I loved it when I was studying Japanese and I still think it's good. I mean, it's useful. Are Genki 1 and 2 enough for N5? Yes, I think so. I think you can get N5 with Genki 1. And 2, you might have to study like a little bit more kanji. And you need the listening practice. But yeah, it's enough. Hi.
愛にできることの話なんですけど、これサブジェクトがないじゃないですか。
あなたはってことじゃない？
あなたはじゃないと思う。
あなたはじゃないの？
私がだと思う。
あ
あ。あなたに愛にできることはまだあるか。そうだよね。
愛にできることはまだあるかい is the name of the music in the chorus too. Oh, okay. I'm first time here. I'll be following upcoming lessons. Thank you, Andy.
If there's something I can do だと思うんだ
よね。
だと思うんだ。
愛にできることはまだあるかい私は。
そうそう。だから
Okay.
どっちかわかんないよ。
It depends on who the subject is, yeah. So the explanation that I gave you for that 愛にできることはまだあるかい is in the situation that I'm asking a person if they have anything they can still love. Yuki's suggesting that maybe the actual song is referring to something slightly different. It's saying, is there anything that I can do for you? I think it's still the same. 多分俺説明したと Okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think we're okay. We're all good. How many kanji are needed for level N5? I think it's 80. I can't remember exactly. You have to look that up on a different website. Maybe we can look it up a little bit later. But I'm not sure. Fatima, there's no official list, but I think you should know around 100 of the basic ones. Yeah, something like that. Another question. Does the nominalizer koto use the koto kanji? Yes, it's the same word. It is that kanji. Koto. Yes. Song lyrics can be hard. Yes, because a lot of times song lyrics are stylistic. They use words that you wouldn't necessarily use in conversation to rhyme, just like in English. They're poetic. So it can be very hard to translate lyrics. That music is from Tenkinoko. Radwimps. Ooh, I like Radwimps. Is there anything that love can do? Is there still anything? Love can do anything. っていうことに対して。ちょっと難しいね。タイトル。I see. Radwimps. I like Radwimps. The better you... I don't know if I like that song or not. The better you get at grammar, the looser you can be with it. Exactly. My kids watched Tenkinoko today. Wow. What are the odds? I've never seen it. How was it? All right. So we're already at about 10 o'clock. And what do we have here? What is this part? This is mo. So the thing we covered next in this lesson last week was other usages of the mo particle. If you remember, it was nimo. We use it in place of the o particle. So boku wa niku o tabemashita. And yasai mo tabemashita. So using it in place of mo. Using it along with the ni particle. Nagano ni mo iku. And for de particle, so doing things at a location. So Tokyo de asobu, Nagano de mo asobu. So those are the new usages of mo that we covered. Are there any questions on mo? They enjoyed it, says Kyushu Trail. Nice. Radwimps is my favorite Japanese music group. I used to like them a lot. My favorite music group favorite Japanese band is this one. I'm going to write it in chat right now. El Garden. Ereru Garden. People just call them Ereru. They just did a reunion, I think. I'm a big fan of them. Radwimps. When will you start lesson 5? Lesson 5 will be next week. Next Sunday, I will be doing lesson 5. I got acquainted with your channel recently. Could you please explain your schedule? Yeah, sure. Will you also cover Genki 2 in your streams? Yes, I will. All right, so I stream Genki content every single Sunday. So next Sunday will be lesson 5. And then the following Sunday will be the lesson 5 question and answer stream. The following will be lesson 6 and so on and so forth until we get to the end of Genki 1. And then I'm going to move right into Genki 2. So I'll do all of Genki 2. I think there's another 11 or 12 lessons in Genki 2. And when I finish Genki 2, I might take a break. We'll see. I might take a week or two off. And then we'll jump into... Well, it'll probably need to be longer because I'm going to need to actually go through some intermediate textbooks and find out which one I'm going to use. So after I finish Genki 2, I'll take a short break to sort of go through intermediate textbooks and pick a good one. And then I will start doing intermediate. Excuse me. My goodness. Tansansui suimasen deshita. Carbonated water. So embarrassing. And then I'll move on to an intermediate textbook. When I finish that, well, then we'll see what I'm going to do with the streams. I may just go back and start all over again and keep going. And as I do all of that, I'll be updating the Patreon with content from each and every lesson. So I'll be adding extra listening and shadowing practice, textbook practice, vocabulary practice. I'll be adding videos like that kind of video for both Genki 1, Genki 2, and the intermediate textbook to the Patreon the whole time. So every time there's a new lesson, the same day that stuff comes out on the Patreon. So that's sort of how my schedule works. I also do gaming streams on Tuesday nights. And sometimes I'll do streams during the day, but those are pretty random, where I stream like Japanese games. And I've been releasing little questions from streams like this or from interviews just at random times. The videos, the on-demand videos are random. There's no schedule for those. But the streams are Sunday. My favorite is Fishmans. Oh, I've never heard of them. One of my favorite bands is Chattomonchi. なんだっけチャットモンチって。なんかスーピーズバンドですよ。ん？何バンド？Ah, okay. I'll listen it after the live. Thanks. Mongol 800 is good too. I only know one song by Mongol 800. What's the famous one? Hora. That's the Mongol 800 song. That's the only one I know, I think.
あなたにもしてる。
Anatanimo?
あな
Maybe.
たに
Wait.
もしてる。
Will you wait till the new edition of Genki 2 to come out? It should come out by the time I finish Genki 1. It's supposed to be coming out in August. And at my current rate of one lesson every 2 weeks, I may need to take 1 week off of Genki 1 for my best friend's wedding if I'm able to go back to the United States. Chisana koi no uta. So, Adrian. Yes, nice. Chisana koi no uta. Yeah, that one. I may have to take a week off to go back to the States for my best friend's wedding, because I'm the best man, if I'm allowed to leave the country, or more importantly, if I'm allowed to come back. So it's supposed to come out in August, and at this rate, I'm not going to finish Genki 1 until August, or at the latest, the first week of September. So that means that it should be out, but I'm not going to wait, probably because the material is pretty much the same. I will wait to put out the Patreon content until the new book comes out, because vocabulary and stuff is a little bit different. So I just want to make sure I'm using the newest content for that. With that said, the Patreon content is pretty much, it can be used with any textbook, so it's not a huge issue. But have you had experience with Marugoto? A native speaking friend of mine teaches from it. Marugoto. I've never checked it out. I've never even seen it. I've heard of it, I think, but I'll have to check that out when the intermediate books come out. Yeah, Toe are great. Marugoto. 教科書?
教科書の名前。
教科書の名前だと思う。Marugoto. A native speaking friend of mine teaches from it. I think it's a textbook name. Andy Dan is really your business manager. He is. I gotta start paying him a salary. ね。プロモーションもしてくれるし。Hopefully when if I can get this channel to grow maybe triple or quadruple the size, I may just have to hire him full time. You are the best teacher. You really teach us perfectly. Thank you very much. Thank you. That is, I feel bad reading that out loud. It's kind of embarrassing, but I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad that it's so helpful. Oh, I like Kururi as well. Band name. Nice. Chisana koi no uta. Yes. What is your relation with Yuki? She's your wife, friend, girlfriend? But sort of fiance almost? I don't know. It's complicated. But we live together and we've been together for like 5 years, so. Andy is always the best man. Cheers, mate. That's one catchy song. Heck yeah, it is. Sorry if it's too personal. Not too personal at all. Not at all. I'm a bit biased to Mongol 800 because the drummer is a friend. Really? That's cool. I think I remember you telling me that at some point. My iTalk I teacher uses Marugoto too. It's more used... It's more for use in a classroom. Okay. Not much explanation, just a lot of examples and practice. I'll have to check it out just to maybe get some ideas from. Teaching textbook varied from Genki with online content. It's good to have multiple resources though. Like, Genki's great, but I would suggest using other resources as well. Like, I wouldn't only use Genki. It's definitely good to have other stuff. You need more examples than what they have, for starters, so. Sort of fiance. There's no ring yet, so that's the only difference. Teaching textbook. She's your better half. Much better. Much better looking as well. All right. So, our next section was duration is expressed with nouns like jikan, hun, shukan, and stuff like that. So basically, the whole point of this section of the lesson was just to say that it doesn't take a particle. These are, you just attach them directly to the noun that they are modifying, or the verb that they're modifying. So, 1時間勉強しました. I studied for 1 hour. Stuff like that. Super straightforward. The only thing that might have been a little confusing to people was kurai and gurai, which are exactly the same word. You can use them interchangeably, whichever one is easier for you to say. I always say gurai. Sorry, I had to mute for a second. This tansansui is killing me. 1時間ぐらい勉強しました. You'll notice that I read this as ぐらい. Because it doesn't matter. You can use either one. 1時間ぐらい勉強しました. 1時間くらい勉強しました. Same exact thing. Whatever you prefer. It's usually going to be written as くらい. Keep that in mind. He's going red. Yes, I am. No, I turned the mic off for a second. I'm having some tansansui problems, carbonated water problems. I always say good day, mate. Gudaimate. So, are there any questions on duration nouns? I'm assuming no, because that was pretty straightforward. But if there is, I will happily answer it. So, is fun always used by itself? What do you mean by itself? Like 1分2分. So 1 minute. 1時間2分. 1時間25分 とか 1 hour and 25 minutes. So you'd use it with something else. But you could say 25分ぐらい. So about 25 minutes, stuff like that. I'm not sure if I know what you mean by if it's always used alone by itself, but maybe you can give me an example. Do you recommend studying the kanji in Genki as they come up? No. You'll never keep up with them. It's too much. Especially like, for example, on my Patreon, I used to introduce the kanji for every single vocabulary word that has kanji, just so people get used to them, used to seeing them. More so than even Genki has them, just because it's good to see them. It's good to know that there's a kanji for that word. Because if you see it in a book, you might remember. You might remember it if it comes up somewhere. You might not. The only kanji that even Genki recommends that you learn while you're going through Genki are in the back of the book. So a lot of people never do this. They never turn to the back of the book. So if we take a look in the book, I'm going to turn on autofocus for a second. So we've got all our chapters, right? But if you turn all the way back here, you'll see that there's kanji sections. And they even have questions and answers and exercises to use with those kanji questions. And in the back of the workbook, there's a whole section on kanji in there as well. So if you want to use Genki to learn kanji, just use those. Just learn those. Don't worry about every single vocabulary word, because that'll take forever. I mean, if you want to do that and you don't plan on learning fast or anything, that's also perfectly fine. But you don't need to. All right. I do have my mic on, right? Yeah, good. Okay. Do you recommend? Okay. Kudai and Gudai are basically the same, right? They are exactly the same. Not basically, exactly. It's just literally the sound is a little bit different, whichever one you prefer saying. They're exactly the same word. I mean, like, you use hour plus ji, right? Hour plus ji. 1時間, yeah. 1時. 1時25分, for example. Yeah, you use them. Yeah. Right. Correct. I think I got you. Does the no particle rule only apply to time counters? I don't know what you're referring to there, Nath. Can you give me an example sentence? Fun fact, geppu is burp in Japanese. Thank you, geppu. Appreciate that, Dan. Excuse me. How do you read this one again? I don't freaking know this kanji. Nandake? Utsu. Utsu ga arimasu. Is that depression? Yeah. Utsu ga arimasu. Okay, depression. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope we can help make you feel a little better. I never realized that. Wow. Never realized what? Geppu. 違うと思うけど. Patreon link if you're curious. Thank you, Dan. It is easier for me when there are kanji. Exactly. There are my chichis. Ah, yes, you also know Chinese, so that definitely helps a lot. Wanikani is popular for kanji. I signed up and quit about 3 times. It came out as soon as I finished remembering the kanji. Like, I finished the book remembering the kanji, and I got an invite to try out the Wanikani beta version. I'd already finished RTK. So I tried it, but it was too late. I'd already learned most of what they were teaching. I didn't realize they were teaching the readings, though, or else I probably would have kept going. Or I don't know if they were back then, actually, but anyway. There we go. I can recommend Wanikani. I think I can. Especially with plugins. If you use a plugins, liberally, if you liberally use plugins for Wanikani, I think it's pretty awesome. If you don't use plugins, there's a lot about it that I'm not super fan of. My God, my computer is boiling. I don't know if I can keep using this monitor. I guess it's not so bad. We'll see. I can't use it all the time though. Okay. なんでしょうか? I don't know what the question is though. What is the best way to learn kanji or vocab? Oh, okay. So many people are answering that question right now. So yeah, Wanikani is probably the easiest way, Nath, for kanji. For vocab, reading, listening, making Anki cards, like SRS, using an SRS app like Anki to make vocabulary cards is probably going to be one of the most useful ways to do that. Wow, my fan is so loud, I'm sorry. I wonder if I should put like a sound gate on this mic. ToKini is probably the best. RTK is okay, but it doesn't teach you the reading. So sorry, not the no particle, LOL. I meant the duration counters don't need an associated particle. What about other counters? Other counters do. So I wouldn't consider these counters. I would consider them separate. They're more sort of separate now. Ichijikan. I guess it's sort of a counter, but I wouldn't think of them in the same way. 3枚をください. You need particles with other counters, just not with these, not with duration. Correct. お金がない。その気持ちわかる. I understand. Did you like RTK? Learn the meanings independent of the pronunciation, radicals, history of kanji. Seems like a major time investment that needs repeating. Yes, I agree. I liked RTK. What I didn't like was when I finished RTK and realized there was no effective method out there to learn readings after using RTK. So like there's a second book that he wrote that is supposed to teach you the readings, but it's not good. It's pretty bad, actually. It was bad. So that's why I don't really recommend RTK much anymore, because like over time I started learning the readings of kanji just from reading and writing in general, and that's how I ended up learning readings. But it wasn't as effective as if I had done it along with learning the meanings. I don't know. It's sort of up to you. You have to realize if you're going to do RTK that you're going to need to spend a lot of time after it to learn the readings, or you're just going to have to spend a lot of time reading in general to learn the readings, which is also fine. Like if your goal is to read, then maybe you don't need to learn the readings as you go along. But always learn readings along with a word. Don't learn readings on their own, like just along with a single kanji. It's just going to be too confusing. Definitely learn them along with words. Otherwise, you're going to be too confused, I think. I ended up learning kanji just by reading a bunch. That's probably the best way to do it, is just by reading a lot. Reading and writing a lot helps. Practice, I mean. Yeah, practice. Practice is the way to go. You can turn the resolution down if your PC is boiling, maybe. Yeah. I could turn the resolution down, but it looks, I mean, it's a 4K screen that looks pretty bad. It's not that bad. It's at like, I mean, I'm streaming. I've got Google Chrome open. I've got 2 windows with a full slideshow going. And you can see right here, it's using all my memory. That's the only thing I'm worried about. The heat isn't terrible. Not for this computer. It's always hot. But I am a little worried about this, using all the memory. But it's not bad. I'll probably just turn it off when I'm playing games or something and use the 144 hertz monitor on my laptop for games. But we'll see. I can hear your PC fans. I know they get so loud. I'm sorry. I need to find out a way to sort of quiet those down. But hey guys, Discord is fun. Check it out. Thank you. All right. So our next section was based on basically just the word takusan, but basically adjectives or adverbs of quantity, like takusan, which means a lot of. So takusan tabemasu, so eat a lot, stuff like that. Takusan manga wo yomimasu, stuff like that. Read lots of manga. So that was it. That was the only thing. So go fund me for new GPU when word. I need to get a desktop computer. That's what, if I'm, in the future, probably within 6 months to a year, I'll probably have to upgrade to a desktop just to deal with this fan thing. Because if I'm going to make the highest quality stuff that I can, that would be the best bet, I think. Or I need to think about what I'm going to do with the monitor. Maybe getting a 1080p monitor with 144 hertz refresh rate might be easier on my GPU. I don't know. I have to research this stuff more. Maybe I'll take this back. We'll see. Get a pet cat that can double up as a muffler to in your mic. It's a good idea. I don't know if mufflers dull fan noise, though. It'd be funny. Yeah, Chrome eats memory for dinner. Word. What do you recommend reading for practicing Japanese? So, it depends on your level. I highly, highly, highly recommend the graded readers. I loved the graded readers. They're a little bit expensive, though. Kyushu Trail loves the Moomin series. Apparently, I've heard that as well, that those are very good for learning. Probably you need to be around at least N3 level-ish, N4 maybe? N4 maybe. I'm not sure. I really liked Majo no Takukyubin, Kiki's delivery service, basically. In Japanese, I thought was really good when I was learning. But graded readers are going to be the best. On the Discord, we actually have a link to 500 pages of free graded reading material. And it's not great. Like, the paid graded readers are obviously more, but they're really expensive. So just to get started, stuff like that is fine. Also, NHK Newsweb Easy, the website, NHK Newsweb Easy, is also a great resource for reading at first. If you don't like reading the news, it's going to kind of get boring after a while, but unfortunately there's not a lot of great reading material out there for learners of Japanese. Now, I created a website years ago called the honrepository.com. I'm going to put a link to that in the chat. The honrepository.com. That's my website. Well, it was my website. I sold it to someone else. They never paid me for it, and they won't give it back to me. But I have them locked out of it because I run the WordPress, so it's still mine. It's just not in my possession, if that makes sense. I don't own the domain. I own the website because I created it, and the YouTube page. But if you go there, there's a lot. Yes, I sent years ago, long before I ever found Kyushu Trail's YouTube channel. He did a review for my website, the Hon Repository. What are the odds? And I sent him a book in a giveaway. I was sending books to people who gave reviews on the website, and I sent him a book. And I didn't know this until I had already been friends with Kyushu Trail on Twitter and YouTube for a couple months. And then I said in the stream, oh yeah, I made the Hon Repository. And he was like, wait, what? You sent me a book. It's a fun story. I like that. So cool. Niku o takusan tabemasu. Yes. Eat lots of meat. And monkey piku. Monkey piku. I've never heard of that. Yotsubato is pretty good, yeah. Yotsubato is pretty simple, but it's pretty informal talk because it's kid talking. So you're going to need a good grounding in grammar. You need to finish the Genki books at least before you get into Yotsubato, I feel like. I mean, you can do it if you want. You can try, but it's going to be pretty discouraging, I feel like, at first. Like, you want to make sure you're staying not too high above what level you are when you're choosing reading material, because it just gets discouraging. It's if you need to look up words in grammar more than once per page, more than twice per page, well, maybe that's... If you're looking up stuff more than 2 or 3 times per page, you're probably not going to make it through the book, and it's probably not going to help you learn them very well. That's generally the rule, I feel like. To learn naturally from a book, you need to not have to look up words very often, which is hard. But dollar is so high right now. I don't even want to look. Geez, this child book is 80 euros. Oh my god. Yeah, don't wait until Japan opens the border for mail. Japan is not accepting mail from anywhere, and I don't know if they're sending stuff out either. And a lot of those links that are on the Hon repository are very old. I put them up there 3-4 years ago. So you might want to search the books separately in a separate search. If you want to support my channel by buying your books through an Amazon link, then click on one of the books on the link, like one of those books, and then search from there. If you buy something within 24 hours, it sends me like 3% of that, which helps my channel. Like, if you want to do that, that's fine, but I would suggest probably searching the books separately from those links, because the links are really old. So that's just, yeah. Buying stuff through Amazon is a way to support people's channels, but you don't need to. Just saying, if you want to, you can do it that way as well, but those links are old. I understand Japanese doesn't allow mail from anywhere. Was really confused. Yeah, no, different. You being post. They don't allow post. Haha. All right. So that was たくさん. No questions on that. All right, the last section of this chapter, I'm going to kind of fly through this because it's 10:30 and Yuki has work in the morning. And I've got some filming to do for the Patreon Lesson 5 content. So LOLing. Yes, only females are allowed into Japan right now. No males. We've got too many of them. The handy to particle. So the to particle, I love it. It's useful. You're going to use it all the time. To means and if you connect two nouns with it, and it means together with if you put it at the end of a person or an animate thing. So some example sentences we used last time were sato to miruku wo iremasu. I put sugar and milk. Whenever fix that sentence into something, whether it's coffee or whatever. Ando-san to watashi wa tomodachi deshita. So this one is not with because it's connecting two people. Ando-san and watashi, it's between them. It's and. But if I were to put it at the end of it, like in the next sentence, Andy wa Yuki to tai ni ikimashita. Yuki to tai ni ikimashita. That means that I went with Yuki to Thailand. So that was that. If anyone had any questions on the to particle, now is the time to ask them. And then we'll wrap this thing up. 34 Brazilian reais to buy Yotsuba manga. I have no idea how much. Is that expensive or is it cheap? The toe at the end of the person. Toes always come at the end. Let's take a look. Yotsuba 1 Brazilian real to USD is 19 cents. So 34 Brazilian real is $6.37. Okay, so in USD, that's a really good price. That's actually really good. I don't know if that's a lot of Brazilian money. 34 is a lot. I don't know what salaries are average in Brazil, but it's a good price in USD. Close to 5 to 1. Okay. All right. For a minor that don't work is a little takai. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I would suggest if you're in if you're not in the Discord yet, definitely jump. I think you're in there. If you are, check on. We have a new spreadsheet that has all of the resources that people have shared over the past couple months, and there's a link to a bunch of free reading resources. I would check that stuff out before buying anything expensive. That's probably your best bet. All right. So I think that is going to be the end of the question and answer session. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all my patrons. Thank you to Ima Crow for his support. And thank you for all of you guys who are here supporting me by just being here to talk and coming every day and just making these streams so fun. I appreciate all of you. All of you. You're all awesome. Thank you so much. I'm a Crow says, gonna start lesson 5 today. Excited for next week. I'm excited for next week too. Can't wait. The lesson material is pretty much finished. It's, well, not the Patreon content. That's almost there. We've got half of it filmed. I gotta edit it all together. And the lesson, actual slides for the lesson, those are pretty much done. So, ready to go. All right. So I've seen the post, but don't look up to the links. Okay, good. Sweet. 先生ありがとうございます。こちらこそありがとうございました。Thank you. I need lessons on how to get into Discord. I believe I posted a link. Nope. Let's go ahead and get that from the description. All you have to do is click this link. I think it still works. Is it a broken link? Let's see. There's the Discord right there. Have a good night. I'm going to try and catch up for next week. Good luck, Crazy Bull. Thanks for being here. Nate says, love your channel, mate. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I need lessons on how to get into Discord. There's the link for that. Hopefully that helps. Arigato, Andy says, Starry Risu. Arigato, Starry Risu. Andy-kun, nice. Arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimashita. All right, I'm going to run the thank you. Okay, my buttons are over here now. Let's go ahead and bring that up. And I'm going to run the goodbye. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night. And I will see you next Sunday. Or on Tuesday for... I think I'm doing Deltarune? I don't know. Anyway, thank you. See you guys. 日本語勉強したいのか？
俺と同じ風に日本語を喋れるようになりたいのか？
この本持ってるのか？ Then we're here to help. そうなの？俺は無理って言おうと思った。On the ToKini Andy Patreon, we have listening and shadowing practice, Genki vocabulary practice, Genki textbook practice where Yuki, Ando, and I are your partners. Eventually, even workbook practice.
そうなの？給料出る？
確かに。
Yeah, sure.
給料出るんだ。
After Genki 1, we'll be covering Genki 2, and eventually even intermediate textbooks. Detailed grammar lessons and Japanese Q&As will, as always, be on the YouTube for free. ToKini Andy Patreon, live right now. よろしくね。
よろしくお願いします。